Welcome to Get Over It, the consciousness transforming podcast for exceptional 21st century living. We have a very interesting show today. We have Margaret Ann Limbo with us, and we're going to be talking about her card deck, Essential Oils and Gemstone Guardian Cards. Now, this deck is very unique. I found it to be very accurate when I was asking it questions, okay, not just getting a reading from it, but I would actually ask it a question and pull a card, and it's like, wow, the answer is right there. So this is a very, very powerful deck. Now, the information shared on Get Over It uses intuitive and pragmatic insight to help you shift your consciousness to break through the blocks and release energy that is no longer needed. Yes, we're going to help you let go of the BS that's holding you back. But you guys know I always ask, are you truly ready to? And by the way, folks, BS is belief system. A bit about me for my new listeners: intuitive since birth. I'm a third generation intuitive with over 3 decades of experience supporting people to break through the blocks along their path. I'm a strategist for personal and professional transformation, revealing cutting edge information that enables you to prosper and thrive. I spent 25 successful years in corporate America as an executive sales professional, and I am the founder of Healing Visions Ministries and the Northern California Children's Education Network, a 501c3 nonprofit. I provide consultations and healings in all areas of life that heal the mind, body, spirit connection, allowing you to live your very best life. My clients say that I keep it real while providing them with accurate information to assist them along their journey as a spirit living a human existence. But they also say, if you really don't want to know, don't ask Monique. My background includes a doctorate in metaphysics, Reiki master teacher, ordained minister, and clinical hypnotherapist. So whether you are stressed, depressed, or possessed, I can help. To find out more about me and the services I offer, go to my website, and that's MoniqueChapman.com. And I invite you to like me on Facebook and LinkedIn. Folks, I am no longer on Twitter, so don't look for me there. And if you like the podcast, subscribe, give me some stars, help a girl out. Definitely appreciate it. My guest today, Margaret Ann Limbo, is an author, gemstone expert, and aromatherapist. She has authored 9 books and 7 oracle decks. One of my favorites of hers is the title called Chakra Awakening, because folks, we need to pay attention to those chakras. Margaret Ann is an award-winning aromatherapist, the creator of Smudge in Spray, and the owner of the Crystal Garden, a conscious living store in the Palm Beaches, established in 1988. And you can check her out at her website. She has 2. The first one is margaretannlimbo.com, and the second is thecrystalgarden.com. And I do really want to push you folks actually to look at thecrystalgarden.com, because I spent hours there and it just felt so good. Even just looking at the website tends to send you uplifting spirit and raise your vibration. So welcome, Margaret.
Oh, Monique, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for all your kind words. I love that you felt the good vibes on the website. Good.
Yeah, I mean, it matched, and I saw you briefly in right before we recorded this in your store, in your angel room, and folks, the energy there was just like awesome. It was so hot. So please check it out, because it's definitely a place that you can visit, feel better, and more importantly, do that equal exchange of energy. You go there, you feel better, buy something, okay? Equal exchange of energy. Okay.
I love it.
Well, it is. Margaret, essential oils and gemstones. Why and why now?
Well, it evolved. It's all an evolutionary process in my consciousness. And I had the realization, I've written quite a few books, and most of my books, all of my books, have to do with gemstones, and most of the time angels, and also essential oils. And then finally, I had this realization, let me match vibrations and create a deck that will help people connect with and understand the vibrational energy of essential oils as they relate to gemstones. I mean, I have done that a bit in my books, The Essential Guide to Crystals, Minerals, and Stones, and The Essential Guide to Aromatherapy and Vibrational Healing. And then I took 42 essential oils and 42 matching gemstones and created the deck. And As you said, you had a good experience, and most people are really loving this deck. So yay for that.
Yes, because there's information out there that does not necessarily match the advertising and publicity, the marketing around it, but yours does. So thank you very much for doing that. Now, how did you decide what gemstones matched what crystals?
I would sit with the stone. I know my stones well because I've been doing this, as you mentioned. I've had my store since 1988. So I've been working with crystals, minerals, and stones for that long, and essential oils almost as long. And so I would look at and say, okay, for example, let's say a relationship quartz. What stone would work? What essential oil, I mean, would work with that? What would be a good vibrational match?
Mhm.
And so I came up and I look and I say, okay, sweet marjoram, because that has to do with loyalty and connecting with relationships and having the give and take. Another example is green calcite. Well, green calcite is really good for digestive challenges as well as for balancing out conditions that may create even a headache, let's say. Well, peppermint is a good one for releasing headaches, but also for balancing the digestive system. And so I would just look at it from physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects and go with what stone would be best. Now, that doesn't mean that's the only stone that would work with an essential oil and be a vibrational match, but I had to pick one.
Okay, so people can, if they're open and in tune, pick a stone, pick an oil, and it could be completely different from what you have placed in your card deck, but still receive great benefit from it.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's not the end all be all, but it is definitely a good place to start to connect with on all levels. Like I mentioned, the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual, and also they also relate which stones and or essential oil matches with what chakra, which I addressed in my first book, Chakra Awakening. So that way you could say, okay, I'm going to pick a stone that's going to be grounding. I need a grounding essential oil. And off the top of my head, I don't have the exact one that is in the deck, but let's say jet or black tourmaline, but a good would be sage or juniper, to help with the grounding and protection vibe.
Okay. Now, I want to switch gears a little bit and just talk about the oils themselves for a moment.
Mhm.
As the audience knows, it takes a tremendous amount of product to make an essential oil. How were your oils created?
So I was trained by a naturopathic doctor, and she sources my essential oils to be sure that they are, in fact, medical grade essential oils. The essential oils come from typically the country of origin that is most well known for creating that essential oil. Like
Mhm.
it's not something that I'm creating, and they are the real deal. And then what I do is I take my essential oils and make blends out of them. So I also have a line where I'm blending essential oils. And when I have taught in the past, I'm teaching people how to make a blend for specific purposes and reasons. And recipes are in the back of my essential guide on aromatherapy and vibrational healing. But so anybody can create their own. They don't have to get mine. Did I
Mhm.
answer that question? I don't know if I answered that.
You answered that question very clearly. So yes, you did. So
Okay.
let's talk a moment about intention, the intention behind using essential oils, the intention behind using gemstones. So talk to us. Why is it important, or is it important that we have a clear, specific intention?
Well, I think that it is. I think mindfulness is the key to being very conscious, to being present and awake in the present moment, being aware of situations. Situational awareness is key to so many aspects of our life. And to be happy, to help us to be happier, if we know what's going on, if we're really in the present moment.
Mhm.
Now, everything I think has to do with our intention. Then we follow through with we have to actually do what we're saying. It's not just, well, I had this good intention. Well, yeah, but let's see, what did you do to make that intention a reality?
Mhm.
So working with a gemstone. So if I decide, okay, I'm going to work with citrine today because I need more self-confidence or I need to have a brighter outlook on life, that's great. You could also pair that with, let's say, a lemon essential oil. And so if you wear a citrine bracelet and put a little lemon essential oil, maybe put a drop on your bra strap for the day, or for gentlemen on their, somewhere on a shirt, because it doesn't ruin the shirt.
Mhm.
And then that scent is wafting up. It will remind you, that's right, I shine my light brightly and I have my intention to be confident and courageous and to be powerful. And so I think that everything that we do, if we do it with consciousness, can be beneficial not only for ourselves personally, but for the people that we're interacting with as well.
Mhm. Well, they say that the scent, your ability to smell is one of the first and last things that come to us while we're in physical body. Talk to us a bit about the effectiveness of aromatherapy.
Well, the reason that aromatherapy is so effective is because it's the scent, the aroma is working through the limbic system of our body and sending messages directly to the brain. So so through the olfactory nerve. So we're inhaling using our sense of smell, and it
Mhm.
sends signals, and our that is more of an unconscious situation where our body knows this is a relaxant. This is going to help us move more quickly. This is going to wake us up. This is going to sedate us. The various reasons that we might be using a given essential oil, whether it's
Mhm.
calming or invigorating, And so it's the magic of our human body that is helps us move forward with using essential oils. In fact, I like using essential oils on the olfactory level, not necessarily application, not applying it necessarily to your physical body, but inhaling it is very effective and also one of the safest methods for using essential oils.
Mhm. Well, you brought up safety, and why is it important to be consider that? Because some oils, I found out the hard way, if you use them without a carrier oil, they can actually burn you or cause other discomfort.
That's true. So if you're using essential oils as an application where you're applying it to your body, you do need to use the carrier oil because, except for lavender, I would probably do lavender neat. I have many times without an issue. But
Mhm.
everybody's skin is different, and we all deal with things differently as far as on a mental, emotional, and physical level. The For one example is all the citrus oils, whether it's lemon, grapefruit, petitgrain, bergamot, all the essential oils that are citrus are actually phototoxic. So if you apply it to your skin and then go out in the sun with or without a carrier, you're going to probably get a burn or a darkened area on your skin. And there's
Mhm.
no reason for that. It's very effective to use essential oils on the soles of one's feet, and that way that information that's stored within that essential oil is being transmitted through from the soles of your feet through your
Mhm.
physical body and to the various organs. But another reason is these have real therapeutic qualities. The ones that we're talking of today are essential oils that are medical grade. And so if I was to put sweet marjoram or clary sage as an essential oil that I'm inhaling and I have low blood pressure, well, it's going to lower it even more and it may make me pass out. Whereas
Mhm.
rosemary might increase your blood pressure, and that's not good if you already have high blood pressure. So they
Uh-huh.
have real effects, and they're the accompanying booklet to the deck, Essential Oils and Gemstone Guardians cards, does have those how do I phrase it, for your safety. And it also
Yeah.
will say that, like, don't use if you're pregnant, or if it doesn't have any known contraindications, it will tell you avoid if you're allergic to this, that, or the other, like chamomile. If you're allergic to daisies or chrysanthemums or ragweed, then you don't want to use chamomile. And that is
Mhm.
in the little booklet that comes with that deck as well.
Okay. Now, your cards are pretty unique in the fact that they're two-sided, or two-faced, if you will. On one side, you have the essential oil and an affirmation, and the other side, you have the gemstone, and then a repeat of the essential oil that would work with the gemstone. Why did you put the affirmations there?
So all 7 of my decks, because I have 7 decks, are set up this way. From the very first deck that I created, which was the Angels and Gemstone Guardians cards, I realized, why waste the backside of the paper? Why waste that when I could give more information to my
Mhm.
readers, to people who are using this to gain knowledge and to to get more information. So what I like is to be able to have the photograph if possible. In all cases, I think I do on all of these, where you can use it as flashcards to be able to recognize for stone identification, to learn what stones look like. And then you also have information that's going to help you with like um, divination to use
Mhm.
it to as an oracle, or information to learn the qualities, whether it's the essential oil or the gemstone, and also what intention to match with that essential oil. And then I think affirmations from the time I was a little girl. I'm serious, like maybe 5 or 6 years old, I learned about the power of intention and the magic of believing, and what you say creates reality. So I want to provide myself and everybody else with really good positive thought forms,
Mhm.
affirmations on the
Mhm.
deck. And actually, every single one of my books, I have it as well. I have affirmations all over the place because
Mhm.
it really makes a difference. Because if we're so used to thinking negative thoughts, we need to learn how to replace those negative thoughts with a positive thought. And this helps people stay focused on what they do want instead of what they
Mhm.
don't want.
Yeah, because it's so important. One little word could just change the whole meaning of what you're asking for and change it from a do to a don't.
Hmm.
It was a book a long time ago. You can't afford a negative thought, or you can't afford a minute of a
Hmm.
negative thought, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you think lower vibrational thoughts and say those words, it will take you down that rabbit hole, and then you have to climb out all by yourself. Not always the best thing to do. So we talked about intention. What about attention? We talked about affirmation, but what about attention? Because we can intend anything, but if we don't put our attention on it, it doesn't seem to manifest. At least that's been
No.
my course of
You
action.
are. You are correct. You are correct. That has been my experience. That is how I like have lived my life. And because what we focus on and what we put our awareness on is what creates reality, because our thoughts, as you well know, Monique, create reality. Whatever we're thinking about becomes manifest. So if
Uh-huh.
we're thinking sad thoughts, negative thoughts, worrisome thoughts, fearful thoughts, that's going to be drawn somehow, some way. And it's like, why is this happening to me? I've had clients even say this, why is this happening to me? And I'll be like, is it happening to you? Let's think. What have you been thinking? What have you been focused on? And then when you really contemplate that without judgment, not judging oneself for it, you realize, oh, yeah, I have been like overly worried about this, that, or the other. And sure enough, that's what keeps coming up in front of me. But the minute that we shift our awareness and put our attention on what we do want, that's what shifts, and that's what we start drawing to us. It's almost like even Siri knows, even Alexa knows in somehow, some way. It shows up in the news feed or in our email. But more importantly, the people that we attract into our lives and what circumstances we attract into our lives, because we're attracting it. It's our thoughts create reality.
Yeah, and if you say you want love, whether you're male or female, and you're like, oh, I got to have a partner, I want this love, but then deep down you don't believe that you can attract it, guess what, folks? You're not going to attract it. If you say you are in need of a certain amount of money, or just want more money in your bank account, and you have those doubts in your mind that you can't achieve what you have just said, it takes away from it. Do you agree with that?
I do. I do. You're absolutely correct.
Okay. Well, I want to shift gears again and go to your website, thecrystalgarden.com. Tell us, I mean, I was just blown away when I just peeked inside your store when I saw it moments ago through Zoom. So tell us about it. What prompted you to start it way back when? Obviously, it is successful because it's still around all these years longer. So talk to us.
Sure. Thank you for asking. So I created the Crystal Garden back in August of 1988. But prior to that, I was in the corporate world, like you were, I was a mortgage banker. I was in senior management when the stock market crash of 1987 happened. And when
Mhm.
that stock market crashed, in my senior VP level upper management, um, then I also crashed also, not me personally, but like my industry, and
Right.
the senior management goes first because they're the highest paid. And also they closed the office that I was working out of, and all my staff that I brought with me from a prior, you know, position,
Mhm.
we all lost our jobs at that moment. And so I had to figure out, who am I without my pinstripe suit, who am
Uh-huh.
I, right? You can
Uh-huh.
probably relate to this.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, and so I had always had this desire to have a store. Didn't know it was going to be all about crystals and essential oils and angels and that, not at the time. um, to create a place and a space where people can walk in and it smells good. They take a deep sigh of relief. They feel good as soon as they walk in. Something happens that they feel better. And that came to me many, many years ago. I always said, oh, someday I'm going to.
Mhm.
And then I had already so back now we're back in 1987, and I had already started investing with two other friends. I was considered a silent partner, but there's nothing silent about me, Monique. I was a silent partner in buying crystals from Arkansas. And
Uh-huh.
so when the stock market crashed and I didn't know what I was going to do with my life, I had to like get myself out of my, what do you call them, sweatpants, and off of my
Uh-huh.
couch and do something. And it took me maybe a month or two, which is not that long considering I had a long career as a banker, to go, you know what, maybe I should try that little store. Maybe I'll do this until in the meantime. That was my in the meantime job. I'll just
Uh-huh.
open this little cute store. And so I did. And the meantime lasted, so far it's still lasting 34 plus years. And I kept evolving as the story evolved, because I've always been focused on spirituality. I've been studying metaphysics and the power of positive thought and everything since I was really young. And
Mhm.
so it really matched. Everything all just matched. And then I learned how to become a retailer, which took me a little while, but now I've got that figured out.
Mhm. Well, that's wonderful. There's so many people who want to take that step that you took, and it's truly a giant leap of faith. And it's always interesting how the universe can set up a situation like the stock market and everything crashing, the financial crisis, to open your eyes, to turn, a little bit to the left or to the right and create something new. So I personally am so glad that you have done this. But before I let you go, we're almost out of time, but before I let you go, I want to talk about another subject. And it's one of the ebooks that you wrote, and that's about saging. When I look at TV shows and I see them saging and they're doing it absolutely positively wrong, I'm like, oh my goodness. Why is it important to learn to sage the right way?
Well, I'm gonna be a little bit I'm gonna say that you almost can't do it wrong, because if your intention is good and your attention is on what you really want, then you're okay.
Mhm. Okay.
So the ebook I wrote all about smudging. It's very inexpensive. You guys can get it. Anybody that's listening, if you want to get it, it's on Amazon. I want to say it's like $1.99. And I think it's on I'm pretty sure other big box stores carry that ebook. It's called
Uh-huh.
All About Smudging. And so, understanding about herbs and working with these herbs to burn and activating these, what I call scrubbing bubbles, to clean out thought forms that are stagnated. That I think is what's most important, is to know and hold that attention and intention that these herbs that you're burning and that you're praying over your space and praying over yourself and clearing out negativity and replacing it immediately with love and well-being. That's what is
Mhm.
really the key, is deciding that's gone. This is what I want. This is the positive, loving vibration I want to replace.
Mm, that feels so right. Okay, so let's switch gears again and talk about your other website, and that's margaretannlimbo.com.
Yes, thank you. So that's my website as an author, and it's really easy to see all the books I've written, all the decks I've created. You can see my some of my sprays, not all of them, but a lot of them are on there because I have a line of like 65 blends of
Mhm.
essential oils for people. And so you can find a lot of information. There's a blog, there's freebies, there's positive thought forums, how to get to my YouTube channel, which is full of really, really great lit, like 30-minute workshops that, and I really increased that number a lot during the
Mhm.
pandemic because we weren't doing in-person stuff. So there's a lot of ways that people can get help without having to leave their couch.
Okay. Well, during the pandemic, so many, I'm going to call it a metaphysical shop, broke. They closed down. They just couldn't make it. What is the secret of your success?
Well, I'm a good business person. I will
Yeah.
say that. I am good at business, and I took advantage. Thank you, US government. Thank you, Uncle Sam, for the PPP loans.
Mm-hmm.
I increased my platform of having shows. In fact, every Tuesday I still do it. Now it's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It used to be at seven-ish at night, or 6 at night. But now I'm doing it at 2 p.m. on
Mm-hmm.
the Crystal Garden Facebook page, and by just having help, I have my little HGTV kind of thing where it's shop the Crystal Garden from home, and we're still doing it to this day. So when the brand new items, because I really love buying rocks and selling gemstones, and so that way it's available even if you don't live near the Crystal Garden. You can be with me live in person on Facebook on the Crystal Garden Facebook page, and that helped tremendously. So the combination of, I just decided that, of course, I'm going to continue. This isn't even an option. And plus, we had the help from the government. Why not use it? Right?
That's very true. That's, what it's there for.
Yes.
So you took advantage, and like you said, a very good business person. Well, our time has come to a close, and I really enjoyed speaking with you today. What pearl of wisdom would you like to leave with our audience?
Hmm. I would say that to remember that you are love, and all that surrounds you and all that is attracted to you is love.
Hmm, love that. It is so clear. So thank you so much. Um, Margaret, thank you. Thank you very much for your time today. I greatly appreciate it. To the audience, I thank you. And I am honored, and I appreciate everyone's time and attention. And I want everyone to remember that the most important choice that you can make is what you choose to make important. Consider making the masterful choice of discovering essential oils and your gemstone guardians. Abundant blessings, light, and love to all. Agape.